to, after this talk, take a few days, really, to read all the stuff about Ron Dellums. He's amazing. But before I talk about Ron, I want to just mention Whitney M. Young, who, Jr., who was an amazing advocate for civil rights and was a primary leader in the National Urban League, was a social worker, was board president for the national office, and really was a person who represented social work in all of our various facets. So a few years ago, we started the Whitney M. Young Jr. Advocacy for Civil Rights Award. We've given it out only once, and today is the second giving of that award to a man who, as a social worker, former congressman, mayor of Oakland, California, deserves this award more than I believe any other person I have known in my life deserves that award. So with that, Ron did not know he was getting this award. So let me tell you a little bit about Ron Dellums. He was in Congress for 30 years. He did things like oppose military spending because he believed it should go for causes of peace. He worked hard for integration and civil rights. He was probably one of the first people who said LGBT people should serve in the military equally. He started to address war crimes from the Vietnam era, and when Congress really didn't support that, they gave him a room, and he did it. No press was allowed. He sponsored the Comprehensive Anti-Apartheid Act of 1986. It was vetoed, and it was the first time in the 20th century that a veto had been overturned and the United States took a strong position against apartheid in South Africa because of Ron Dellums. And when that sanction went through, it went through with preconditions for lifting the sanctions, such as the release of political prisoners. And if I remember correctly, Nelson Mandela was a political prisoner at that time. Then I spoke recently with Ron on the phone, and he said to me, you know, I became the mayor of Oakland, California. And you know why? Because the people needed me, the people wanted me, and the people asked. Now that's a social worker. And Ron is here today, which as someone living in Michigan, knowing the politics of this state and the agony that poor people, people who are homeless, people who are hungry, people without health care are experiencing, and the work that we all have to do, what better motivator, what better representation of our profession than Ron Dellums? So with that, I want to award Ron Dellums the Whitney Young Jr. Award for Advocacy and Civil Rights. Ron, the show